Hey, 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 welcome back. It's Denise Walsh here at Dream Life Coaching for coaching for coaches. So, you are listening to this because you are a leader. You already work with people on some level. Maybe you're in the helping professions. You are a coach. You are a nurse. You are a psychologist, a social worker, and you want to learn how to take your skills to that next level, as well as how you can broaden them, right? Add more tools to your toolbox. Well, here at Dream Life Coaching, we teach you exactly what to do and what to say to work with clients to help them through their transformation and build a thriving online business if that's your goal. Well, today we have a special guest who is a certified Dream Life coach. And previous to this was a teacher. In fact, she was a special ed teacher for decades working within the system. And when she retired, she thought, you know what? I'm not dead yet. I have value to add to the world. I just want to do it on my own time, in my own way, in a way that feels aligned with my values, my beliefs, and my skills. And so I'm excited for her to share with you exactly how she went from idea to execution, not only with Dream Life Coaching and the skills she's learned there with her Leadership Academy for Teens, but also she is now a DISC certified personality coach and is able to support in leveling up your communication, whether you're in a team or a family. So, big welcome to Dream Life Coach Robin Savage.
Thank
Yay,
you.
the crowd goes wild. All
Thank
right.
you.
So I met you, I feel like maybe 2 years ago now, maybe even longer. And you first got started by just joining 90 Day U-Turn as a client. So tell me a little bit about what life was like back then.
Oh, goodness. Uh, it was difficult. I knew I was going to be retiring early from teaching. During that time, I'd experienced a great deal of loss in our family. My father passed. And so it just threw me into a spiral, I guess. And I was having a hard time making decisions. I knew I wanted to retire. I was retiring early. I didn't know what life was going to look like on the other side of that. And I was having a difficult time being able to figure that out. So when 90 Day U Turn came across my feed, I thought, I might need to consider this. So I joined, and yeah, and it was best decision ever.
Well, and you're right. Like 90 Day U-Turn is perfect for those that are at that crossroads. You're like, okay, I don't really know what I want, but I know I don't want to be here. So what do I do? And so it truly is a growth focused program to help you hear from yourself again and grow that inner strength. And so you did it once, and then you did it again. And then tell
I
me
did.
about that trajectory for you.
Yeah, well, the first time I was going through it, I really needed it for me. Not so much just to figure out what life was going to look like, but for me, there were areas in my own life that I didn't even realize were holding me back. And going through that was just amazing. And then about halfway through, as I started to realize we're on the downward slope here, coming to an end, I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready to finish this. So I had the opportunity to join again. And when I did, that was where more of the clarity came for me. A lot of those, as you always say, the onion layers have been peeled away. And that's when I found that little seed, that little spark that had been hidden in my heart for so long. And it began to surface, which led me on the trajectory to what I'm doing now.
So then you were like, okay, everybody needs this. And you became a Dream Life coach, which allows you to sell 90 Day U-Turn and all of the content. I know you've packaged it in your own way for your
Mhm.
leadership program for teens. You have since then written a journal that's right
Mhm.
behind you. I see that.
Yes.
It's available on Amazon. So tell us a bit about how you've been able to take this content and utilize it for the teens that you were working with them as a teacher, but
Mhm.
this is in a new way, isn't it?
Yes, yes, it is. And it's funny because as I was going through 90 Day U-Turn, I was still teaching. And a lot of these concepts, I kept thinking, oh my goodness, if I would have learned this as a teenager, ah, it could have changed so much. And so I would actually ask my students about some of this. I would share a few bits, and they thought it was amazing. So it's funny because they were really a part of my process as well, in developing what I have going on now. They are learning how to identify those self-sabotaging behaviors. the ones who want to do well and they don't know why they keep struggling, or the ones who just feel so overwhelmed with life because they're so passionate about everything, and being able to hone in on what's important to them and prioritize and manage time and develop those leadership skills, which frankly I think of them as just basic life skills, right? Really being able to communicate effectively, manage time, being able to collaborate and work with others. And it sets them up to be able to have success where they are in school as well as in their families and beyond.
I love it. It's true. I've heard so many people say, I can't believe I'm this years old when I learned these thought trap habits, or why am I the way I am? I just have continued to repeat patterns, not really understanding that it was because my subconscious programming needed to be shifted and changed. And now that I know, right, we bring it darkness to light, it can transmute, we can take a look and evaluate, is this still helping me? And there's a lot of processing and growth that happen within 90 Day U-Turn in a step-by-step process, right? Because some people will say, I know I need to be on a healing journey, or I know I need support, but I don't even really know what to ask for, or I don't really even know what that looks like. And so the step-by-step process, like you said, helps you to give you that guide to releasing those onion layers so you can hear from your heart again. And so to have teenagers learn these skills, it's not just like a 3-month program and then they forget. These are skills they're going to continue to come back to.
Exactly. And it's just so exciting, to see that and to see them realize that they don't have to stay where they are, because, as teens, this is life, this is how things are, to see that they don't have to stay where they are and that they can also make a difference in other people's lives as well. Yeah.
So 90 Day U-Turn focuses on really knowing yourself, right? Getting out of your own way, overcoming self-sabotaging behaviors, taking your thoughts captive, aligning your dream life pathway. But you also are offering services now where it's not just about who do I want to be, but it's about how am I communicating with others? How am I coming across? And how am I receiving communication, which impacts not just family dynamics, but also corporate dynamics and team dynamics. And so tell us a little bit about the DISC assessment that you now offer in corporations, schools, and churches.
Yeah, I had a wonderful opportunity to be exposed to DISC. And for anyone who doesn't know, DISC is a personality behavioral assessment that categorizes you based on, your responses to the assessment, and takes a look at how you communicate based on your own personality style. And the cool thing about it is that I'm seeing so much impact when people are empowered with knowledge and strategy, right? And it's not just knowing, it's about having the strategies to be able to take what you know and put it into practice. So DISC has become a big part of what I do, in that we have an opportunity to just take a look at what are some of the things that are getting in the way of communication. Like if you've ever tried talking with someone and you just felt like you weren't quite on the same page, or things were just not clicking well, there probably is a communication issue based on personality style. So I like to look at it this way. Imagine that you're standing at an elevator. You just push the button, you're ready to go up to, let's say, the 5th floor, and you're standing there. Are you the type of person who's like, oh my gosh, please don't let there be anyone in the elevator, I want it to myself? Or maybe you're thinking, I wonder if I'm going to meet my new best friend there. Wonder what kind of conversations we'll have. Well, then you may either be the reserved person who would like the elevator to themselves, or that outgoing person who loves to be around people, and every opportunity is a time to interact. Or maybe if we think about going on vacation, are you the person who has to have a spreadsheet of all of those things that need to be accomplished before you go? Everything that has to be checked off in order for you to have a good time on vacation? Or are you the person who's like, spreadsheet, I'm just ready to go, and I want to know who I'm going to be with and how much fun I'm going to have? Well, that's the difference between being someone who is task oriented or someone who is more people oriented. And they're all wonderful. There's no right or wrong. But the thing is, if you are in one camp versus the other, communication can fall flat, because you're only seeing it from your perspective. And the thing about DISC is once you learn about your personality style and you learn about that of other people, you then learn how to tailor your communication and your behavior in order to have effective communication. And it helps close that gap. And it's just fabulous. I'm seeing it with premarital couples. We've had the opportunity to use it with them and to just watch them go through this process, and how excited they are to be armed with this information at the beginning of their marriage has been phenomenal. And then recently, I worked with a bank as well, working with 21 bank managers to help them reach their goals with effective communication.
Absolutely. It's powerful, because when you're not taking things so personally, or when you stop thinking that people are doing it to you potentially, right? And you start to understand the way that they work and their process, I feel like good communication can happen, because you're not on defensive mode, or feeling like people are just not doing their job, or being, what's the word, like insubordinate or something, because,
Right.
but maybe it's just a miscommunication.
Absolutely. And again, a lot of it is perspective. I like to use the example of a beach ball, and we've all seen beach balls, right? They alternate in colors. And if I'm holding it up to you, you may see white, red, white. But on my side, I may see red, white, red. And while you're talking about white, red, white, and I'm looking at my side and I'm like, what are you talking about? And we're not communicating because we're not seeing things from the same perspective. And that does cause a lot of issues. If you think about somebody who values like family, like that is one of their top priorities, and they make their decisions surrounding that, you might look at them and think, well, why won't they ask for more overtime? Or why are they not, stepping up to take on more responsibility? Are they lazy? No, they're not lazy. It's just from their perspective, family is more important. But then somebody else, it's all about the results. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get the results. And it doesn't mean that one is right or one is wrong. They're just different perspectives. And when a team or an organization understands that, they really can make a lot of progress towards their goals.
Yeah. Yeah. No more spinning our wheels, whether it's personally in our life or within our team. But let's truly set our goal and move forward. And so I feel like these two worlds, Dream Life Coaching and the DISC assessment, work hand in hand, because the more that we know about ourselves, the more that we can see how other people might be acting and saying. And I just feel like it allows you to be more of who you are and hear more of who they are in a more clear light.
Absolutely. And I often think about subconscious programming because, anything brain science, I geek out on that and I love it. And how it does relate to everything with DISC, in that once you start to see these patterns of behavior, and you start to identify them in other people, your brain starts to look for them more. And as it starts to look for them more, you're not jumping to conclusions as much, because now you're again powered with information that you can use to kind of help to figure out where people are coming from. Just such a powerful connection.
Yeah. And once you understand, I mean, we use this personality type stuff in sales a lot, right? The psychology of sales is truly helping somebody understand what they need and how your program or service can help meet that need. And everybody has a different way that they view that need, and speaking the language in helps not only in communication but in sales as well. So I love that you are merging these two worlds and creating programs and services not only for teens but now corporations to support them in their growth. So if somebody's interested in either your teen program or they want to learn more about the DISC assessment and how that could help their team, how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, I mean, my website has all the information, www.letsriseacademy.com. I can also be emailed at rsavage@letsriseacademy.com as well, and I'll gladly have a conversation with you.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. As Robin said, the content that she has, you're like, if teens can learn about this early, it really can take their life in a completely new direction. That 1% change can can truly support them in all areas of their life. So if you have a teen or if you have a corporation and you're interested in having Robin come and teach and work with your people, please reach out and let her know. So thank you, Robin, so much. So one last question. For anybody who is thinking about becoming a Dream Life coach or stepping into 90-day U-turn, what would you say to them?
I'd say run, don't walk. It truly was life-changing for me. I have accomplished things that honestly I didn't even know I could, learn skills I didn't know I could. And it has really changed me as a person for the better. And it's allowing me to help others as a result of that. So I truly appreciate it. Just do it.
In a way that you never, like you couldn't have dreamed this 3 years ago. And now here you are. It's amazing to see, one step at a time. So you guys, we do have the doors open for 90-day U-turn right now. You can go to 90dayu.com to learn more, or denisewalsh.com. Reach out. Let's have a conversation, because the reality is that the stirring that you've had in your heart to add value in the world in a new way, or to grow yourself, you don't know how to do it on your own, right? That's why we need coaches to help with that step-by-step process. And as Robin said, this is laid out in such a way where you will release those onion layers, get yourself re-sparked, and take action that you never could on your own. All right. Have an awesome day, you guys. Thanks so much for being here, and we'll see you same time, same place next week.